Before we get started, I want to go through some housekeeping. So bear with me while I talk about some of our housekeeping rules. So in terms of connecting to audio, it looks like everyone is connected to audio. So I don't see anybody having any issues. But here is some information. If you go to the Quick Start tab, and if you're having difficulty connecting to your computer, you can always dial in to our toll number and enter the meeting number that's on the screen. We have some webinar best practices that we'd like to follow. If you'll mute your phones at all times, or mute yourselves at all times, you type your questions in the chat pod or raise your virtual hand. So if you have a question, we're going to get to some areas where we have some stops for questions, and we'd love to have your questions because this is what it's all about. It's about sharing out there in the field and asking questions, because the only way we're going to know how things are going is if you ask your questions. So remember, when you're in the chat pod, you are going to select to send to everyone, and I'll show you that slide shortly. So again, when you're typing your questions in the chat pod, you will select everyone when you post a comment. And in terms of attendance for PD certificates, you can access the requirement. You can access your certificate after the session a couple of days. You need to give us a couple of days, because what we do is we verify attendance and then we submit it and it gets posted to your account. Also, access to audio is required to receive a certificate of completion. So if you have individuals sitting next to you, please let us know. Let me know. Send me an email or type it in the chat pod, and I will be able to give those individuals that are sitting with you attendance credit. But we also need to let you know that they need to register in the portal. So in addition to sending me information about them sitting in the same room with you, they will need to register in the portal. And in terms of viewing the webinar screen, if you're having a little trouble seeing the slides, there are some controls on the right-hand side of your screen. If you click on the diagonal arrows, that will allow you to view full screen. Now again, when you respond in the chat pod, because we do want your questions, please do change the send to everyone so that everyone can see the question. So we prefer that you send the questions to everyone as opposed to privately to the host. That will help us greatly. So today our presenter is Brenda Schofield, and Brenda is the Director of Adult Education and Literacy from Region 5 in Southeast Texas. She has loved adult education since she was 17 years old, when she first volunteered as a literacy tutor for adults with special needs. Now that is a really special population. Brenda has more than 30 years experience as an adult ed director and has seen firsthand the positive impacts AEL programs make in the lives of our students that we serve and their families. So Brenda enjoys decorating, gardening, cooking, and spending time with her family, including her young grandchildren, Ian, Logan, Olivia, and a newborn granddaughter, Gentry. So welcome, Brenda. And we also have Christine Gobert, who will be presenting alongside Brenda. And if anybody has any questions, please let me know now, and then we'll get started with our presentation.
Hi, I'm Brenda Schofield, along with Christine Gobert, and we're so happy to be here today and want to thank you all for joining us today. We're really looking forward to the Stakeholder Integration Series, and we just think it's a great idea. So we want to thank you all for providing that and offering that to us, and for all the great presenters that are to come. Today we will share with you the benefits of partnering with housing authorities and libraries, and how we established our partnerships, along with the strategies that have worked for us to make those partnerships successful. First, I'd like to just tell you a little bit about us and our program in our area.
Brenda, excuse me, would you speak up just a little more, please?
I'm having a little difficulty with the volume. I'm thinking it may be, I can't control it from my end, but I will do my best to speak up a little bit louder. Region 5 Education Service Center is the adult education and literacy provider for the Southeast Texas workforce area. We serve Hardin, Jefferson, and Orange counties, which includes the cities of Beaumont and Port Arthur, as well as rural areas throughout the three counties. The area has a population of almost 400,000 people. Hurricane Harvey devastated our area in August of 2017, as many of you may remember. Many of our students and other families in the areas are still trying to get their homes repaired in order to return home. Others lost their homes and lived with their friends, relatives, or had to move from the area. Several of our AEL staff and even our own executive director's home were destroyed in the flood. Geographically, we're located 100 miles east of Houston and about an hour northeast of Galveston. Southeast Texas is home to Motiva, the largest oil refinery in North America. Motiva produces 600,000 barrels of oil a day. Motiva was completely closed down for several days due to the flooding by Hurricane Harvey. So that's an indication of just how hard the hurricane hit our area. Southeast Texas is also home to the largest methanol refinery in North America, which is Beaumont Methanol. Golden Pass LNG, liquefied natural gas refinery, is the #1 plant in the nation for import and export. And the Port of Beaumont ranks #4 in tonnage in the United States. When Region 5 Education Service Center was awarded the AEL competitive grant in July of 2014, we started the new Southeast Texas AEL program entirely from scratch. The prior AEL provider offered very limited types of classes and very few class sites. We provided AEL in another area for many years, so we knew that establishing a large number of partnerships and conducting classes at numerous sites throughout the area would help us to be successful in serving the target population. In 2016, we collaborated with Workforce Solutions Southeast Texas and their board to form a community network of partners called Sharing Solutions, which brings together representatives of more than 60 community organizations, colleges, nonprofits, etc., to collaborate and assist in providing support and supportive services and referral to the students that we serve, as well as to many other individuals throughout the community. And that collaboration continues to grow each month. When we were awarded the AEL grant in 2014, we were able to use our over 30 years experience to help us get started quickly. We brought a good attitude, determination to succeed, and an open mind to the new program. As many of you know, TWC's vision was different than what we were used to under TEA's leadership. We were open to new ideas, and we trusted TWC's new vision for AEL. We were excited about new opportunities, and we were committed to following TWC's guidance. We were also very enthusiastic about the new opportunities that would be available to our students as a result of TWC's new vision. As a matter of fact, during the first year, we were discussing career pathways opportunities that were becoming available to our students when one of our staff members said, "You know, I was a little skeptical at first, but I believe Anson just may have something there." One of our strongest assets is the ability to create successful partnerships with organizations within the community. Region 5 Education Service Center has an excellent reputation overall in the area, and AEL has the full support of our executive director, who says that our program makes them look good. So, of course, that makes us very happy. We have a very supportive and enthusiastic staff, and we brought quite a number of our previous program staff to the new program, and we hired a great group of new staff to come on board. Another thing that we brought to the new grant is a history of achieving success in AEL, including very good student outcomes. So far this program year, we've met almost 200% of our regular ed IET enrollment target. We've met over 250% of our transitions targets for the year, We will meet and exceed our integrated Civics IET enrollment target in May of this year. We've met our intensive target for English for internationally trained professionals by over 250% this year. And the reason that we're sharing this information and these numbers is only to demonstrate that we are successful in large part due to the strong partnerships that we formed and that we continue to form each year. The questions we asked at the beginning were, which stakeholders might have an interest in forming a partnership with us? What can each prospective partner bring to the table? What jobs are targeted or in demand in the area? And what partnerships can best meet those demands? The main question that we considered was what partnerships could we create to best benefit our students? That's always the key question, isn't it? It's what can we do to best benefit our students? Let's discuss how we developed our partnership with the Beaumont Public Library and the Beaumont Housing Authority. We contacted quite a few of our potential partners when we were writing the AEL grant in 2014 to let them know that we were applying for the grant and to let them know that we wanted to collaborate with them if we were funded. Both the library and the Housing Authority were eager to work with us, and they offered their facilities as soon as we shared the news that we had been awarded the AEL grant.
Let's talk about the benefits of partnering with housing authorities and public libraries. The Beaumont Housing Authority serves over 3,000 families through its affordable housing programs. This is a photo of the Gloria Ramirez Neighborhood Resource Center, where we conduct our classes in the Beaumont Housing Authority. This was a brand new facility when we started classes at the Beaumont Housing Authority 4 years ago. There are many benefits to partnering with Beaumont Housing Authority, and many, if not most, housing authorities should be able to offer similar benefits. Housing authorities are conveniently located in neighborhoods with large populations of potential learners. The Beaumont Housing Authority provides free classroom space for us in the new resource facility. The facility offers classroom space, a kitchen, a community room, a computer lab, and other spaces appropriate for adult education instruction. Housing authorities are generally located on public transportation routes. They are well lit, have security on site, easily accessible parking, and are ADA compliant. Housing authority facilities generally have flexible hours of operation, so we have access whenever we need it. The instructional facilities are very comfortable and provide a safe environment for staff and students. Another benefit is that housing authorities can provide state-of-the-art computer labs with current software, internet access, smart boards, and other equipment.
And this is a photo of our students actually using some of that equipment. Beaumont Housing, pardon me, the Beaumont Housing Authority is one of the few agencies in the country that has a fully staffed client services team that provides case management and social and supportive services to the clients they serve. Beaumont Housing Authority's caseworkers conduct full needs assessments on all their clients, those who need high school equivalency, ESL, college or career transition skills, or those who are good candidates for IET are referred to Region 5. After school and summer programs for youth helps with child care so that AEL students who are parents can attend classes in the evenings and in the summer. They also have numerous other opportunities for their children and the adults who live in the housing authority, such as book fairs and just toy drives, just all kinds of different things. So they've got lots to offer.
Housing authority programs place great emphasis on employment, training, and self-sufficiency to help families move in, up, and out. They help families transition from welfare to work, and from work to complete self-sufficiency, and they have funds available for training and transportation. Housing authorities offer job search assistance, financial literacy, and home ownership preparation. They also offer financial incentives and scholarships for AEL students. The Housing Authority is a great partner for AEL since they assist students to navigate the college application process, including applying for financial aid, scholarships, selecting schools, and assessing their interests and skills. They offer life skills workshops including money management, credit repair, parenting, personal development, starting a business, and much more. Beaumont Housing Authority assists in marketing our AEL program in many ways, including advertising and newsletters to patrons, community, and local officials. They also help promote the classes through door-to-door home visits to their clients who live in public housing to encourage them to walk over to the Neighborhood Resource Center and join the AEL classes. They also market our program through their Facebook page and a recently redesigned website that receives thousands of visitors each month. They also have a system that sends automated phone calls and text to remind clients of services available, and they place additional reminders on the rent statements.
And our classes at the Beaumont Housing Authority are open to the public too. Residents of the Housing Authority are the primary target, but we have quite a few students who do not live in that particular apartments who join our classes as well. Now, let's talk for a few minutes about the benefits of partnering with libraries. Libraries generally have great locations. They're conveniently located in neighborhoods with large populations of potential learners. And like the Beaumont Public Library, most libraries are located on public transportation routes. Our bus stop is literally just a few feet away from the library.
Other benefits of partnering with libraries are the instructional facilities that they can provide. They are well lit, security's on site, they have easy accessible parking, and are ADA compliant. We have sufficient space to accommodate 3 to 4 ESL classes at once, a high school equivalency class, plus a conference room where student intake, orientation, and counseling can be conducted. Libraries are generally open for extended hours each day, Monday through Friday. Some of our classes begin at 9 a.m., and we have other classes that are scheduled until 8 p.m. in the evening. Our AEL library classes are offered a minimum of 18 to 20 hours each week. Increased ESL traffic in the library has come predominantly from word of mouth in our communities. We join the library to make sure that it is first and foremost perceived to be a non-threatening, safe, and comfortable place for our students to learn. We have a large group of internationally trained professionals who attend English classes at the library. These professionals have great respect for libraries, so the location is just perfect for them to learn. The library is a key partner in marketing our AEL program. One of the major benefits that I want to mention is that libraries and AEL programs share cross-recruitment and referral of patrons and students. Libraries refer their patrons to AEL classes, and AEL students and their families always become patrons of the libraries, and they learn about their resources. This is a win-win for the libraries and for AEL. Also in our area, federal judges use the library community room to conduct a naturalization ceremony for students and community members who have passed their citizenship exam. Many of our students attend this ceremony to support their fellow students and community members, and it serves as a source of encouragement for them to set their own citizenship goals. An unexpected benefit for the library is that some of our ESL students have become library volunteers. So the library now has bilingual staff thanks to our partnership with AEL. Another benefit of partnering with libraries is the sharing of resources. We are both in the literacy business, so it makes good sense to share these resources. We open our PD training to the library staff, particularly mutually required training, such as Best Plus 2.0, TABE training, or other training. AEL staff is also invited to attend library staff training events. Beaumont Public Library collaborates with AEL to provide a graduation and student award ceremony each year. We secure donations from our community to provide this special event for our students.
And this is a photo of one of our graduation and recognition award ceremonies. And this is just a reminder about the Digital Literacy Toolkit that was developed by the Texas Workforce Commission and the Texas State Library and Archives Commission. I've attached the web address, as you can see, for the toolkit. The Digital Literacy Toolkit contains lesson plans, workbooks, activity worksheets, and resources for 7 digital literacy training modules, and it's all free of charge, and it's a wonderful resource. We'll stop for a moment. If anyone has any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer those questions before we proceed.
This is Deborah. I don't have any questions. I just wanted to let you know that I just, while you were talking, went onto the Facebook page of both the Housing Authority and the library, and they have got some great marketing going on. So I put it in the chat pod, but when you guys get a chance, look those up on Facebook, and they got some really good ideas. One of them was a flyer that said, "Take this job and love it," and I just cracked me up. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
Thank you, Deborah. I also placed the link that you saw previously to the toolkit into the chat pod if you want to pick that up also. Okay, it looks like we do have a question. We have a question from Risa. She says, at the library, are the classes held after hours or are others using the library at the same time?
Risa, those are held during library hours. Our library is open from early in the morning till late in the evening, and so we're there while other patrons are there, while the library staff is there, and it's a really great atmosphere at the library for us to be there while the library is open. If I've answered that question, then we'll proceed if we don't have any more questions. That's a great question, Risa.
Brenda, this is Anne Marie. I just wanted to also share that the Digital Library Toolkit is also available from our website, and I put the link in the chat pod for everybody. The Digital Library.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That's a great resource. Plus, it's free, which we all love. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on a little bit and talk about just making the connection and establishing your partnerships. And again, we're just talking about the things that we have done. You'll have to decide what works best, but hopefully these strategies will help you in making a good connection with your housing authority or your library. So let's talk a little bit about getting started and establishing the partnerships with housing authorities and libraries. The first thing that we did, and that anyone interested in establishing those partnerships needs to do, is to try your best to contact and meet with the person or the people who have the authority to make decisions about proceeding with a partnership as much as you can. And sometimes that may require meeting with more than one person. We were very fortunate to be able to meet with the people who did have the authority to make those decisions. But whatever works best, and it'll all work out. So that's what we did, and we were very pleased, and I think you'll find that they're going to be very eager to work with you. Consider creating a stakeholder recruitment flyer that has brief written attestations or quotes from your other partners that you've worked with before. We add the logos from our current partners to the flyer and also to our website. And we have our major partners' logos on our flyers and on our website, and that seems to please them very much. During your initial meeting, provide a quick, positive overview of your program and include the pamphlet if you do have one. And don't forget to brag on your program. Explain your successes and what your program can provide. Share statistics and data that shows student and program success. The following slide is an example of one of our flyers. As you can see, we just have we have a number of our partners' logos on our flyer, and it's just nice for our new partners to see that we are working with other organizations in the community, other colleges, other industries, and other partners. So, it's like a nice little referral page for you and your program. establish partnerships with housing authorities and libraries. Discuss the mutual ways that you can collaborate excuse me, with AEL that will benefit both of your programs. Integration will help meet the objectives and outcomes for both programs, so you want to talk about what you can do that will meet objectives for both. Start a discussion to determine mutual objectives and customer needs. Just find out what they need and try to provide as much as you possibly can. Kind of the old find a need and fill it. If they've got a need, hopefully you can fill that need for them. Stakeholder integration definitely increases the numbers of your AEL participants. About 15% of our total students last year were served in housing authorities and libraries. And about 10% of our total students from year one have been served in libraries. That grows every year. So those are definitely great partners. And increased enrollment obviously equals increased student outcomes and success. We've already met and exceeded our regular EL Civics target for the year, as well as our English for Internationally Trained Professionals target. And even though program-wide we've exceeded both targets, if we had only had classes in the libraries and the housing authorities, we would have already met those needs, met those targets based on the students served in those areas alone. So that shows us and shows our partners what a benefit they are to our program. Talking about the benefits of on-site classes with your potential partner, discuss the benefits of placing on-site AEL classes directly in the housing authority and directly in the library. And the chances are that your housing authority or your library will be delighted to bring your classes into their facilities. Discuss the convenience and benefit of co-location of classes. On-site classes will be great for the residents of the nearby neighborhoods. And I want to share a really important tip for convincing libraries to provide classroom space for AEL. This is actually something that I did not know until we had the library as our partner, so this was interesting for me, but you know, we always want to share our tips and help each other. So we found out that the AEL classes that are located in libraries dramatically help to increase the number of daily patrons for the library and utilization of the library's other services. But when AEL classes are located in the library can count the number of individuals who attend those classes each day towards their daily roster of patrons. On any given day, we may have, and usually do have, as many as 50 students in class. That's an additional 50 patrons for the library to count on their roster that very day and every day. Our students use many of the library's services, so it's definitely a win for the students as well as for the library. Co-location of AEL classes in libraries and housing authorities not only helps the student, but it also looks good to funders, community leaders, and governing boards. And also remember that if either party determines that co-location of classes is not possible, you can still create beneficial partners and partnerships by planning specific mutual referral of customers or students. To establish your partnership, remember that there are many financial benefits to the community partner who collaborates with AEL. AEL has the ability to provide tuition, training costs, and other benefits. So we need to share that information, as we all do, I know, with our partners. AEL provides highly qualified staff free of charge, and there is no charge for any of our AEL services. So that's a really big selling point. Something else to think about is to think about placing a dollar value on your services and share that estimate with your partners. Consider your cost, such as your staff cost, supplies, training costs, and other costs. And we know if we figure those costs over the entire period of the class, whether that's a year or 9 months, that's going to really get that dollar estimate up there. And if you estimate, for instance, that the value of your services that you'll provide to a housing authority or a library will be $20,000 a year, share that information with them. This is still a non-financial partnership, but it will help your integration efforts to estimate the cost and the value of the services that you're providing at no charge. And I've actually been asked, in light of that, to write a letter for the housing authority for a grant that they were applying for to estimate our cost per year. And so when you take that total cost per year, and maybe they're applying for a 3-year grant, then that will really add up. If it's $10,000 a year, you're saying that you're providing $30,000 dollars total for that period of that grant. So that's a really good tip that we have learned. A little bit about why our partnerships with housing authorities and public libraries are successful. Our success is that we remain flexible and adaptable. If you're in adult education, you know that is a key. We always have things that pop up, things that we have to make adjustments for. And these partnerships are no exception. When we start a new class or partnership, we plan our classes carefully, but the most important thing that we do is we get started as soon as possible. We do our best to plan ahead, but we don't wait until everything is absolutely perfect to start our recruitment in classes. We do our best, and we provide great services, and we are prepared. But sometimes the biggest obstacle to success can be waiting too long to get started and waiting until everything is absolutely perfect. We've always made adjustments as they are needed, and we still do business that way. Everything may not go perfectly at first, but what classes do? But do the best you can and make adjustments as you identify any problems that may arise. Flexibility has always been one of the keys to our success. We're sensitive, responsible, and adaptive to the needs of the students, and we do everything possible to make the classes work for them. You may find that you need to change your class times or your schedule if what you've planned doesn't work for your students. Of course, plan ahead, do your research, try to find out what days, what hours are the best for your students, but be prepared to make adjustments if needed.
To successfully aligning mutual goals, we asked our community partners about their goals and objectives. We discussed how we could align our new partners' goals with our own, and we worked to incorporate strategies to help them achieve the objectives of their programs. Successfully aligning mutual resources. Discover the resources each partner can bring to the table. Do they have funds for supportive services that AEL can't provide? Make sure what your AEL program can provide in terms of instruction, student services, training costs, etc. Communication is the key. Stay in touch as the classes move forward. Make adjustments to ensure that needs of all partners are met.
Share your data and your success with your new partner. Utilize your non-PII, we all know that, teams reports and other program-created reports to let your partners know about your program's success due to your mutual collaboration. Let them know how the partnership has positively impacted individuals and families in the community. They can share this data with their funders, their boards, and to help them apply for grants and other purposes. When we look good, they look good. We want to look good, and we absolutely want our partners to look good as well. Another key to success is to be a good neighbor. We've heard that a lot. Be a good partner. Relationships matter when building capacity and partnerships. We are respectful of our partners' and stakeholders' needs, their guidelines, and their procedures. We're very quick to respond to their request. For instance, as I mentioned earlier, if a letter of support is needed for a grant, we respond immediately. We're respectful of our partners' facilities, and we keep them clean and in order. We maintain open, transparent communication, and we keep our partners informed about any changes to classes, staff, or schedules, as well as any short or long-term adjustments or changes that need to be made.
Utilize funding and opportunities that your workforce board can provide. Your housing authority and library students may be eligible to have paid work experience, training costs, or support services paid through the local workforce solutions centers. The next presentation will discuss stakeholder integration with workforce boards. So, stay tuned.
We have ongoing recruitment at the Beaumont Housing Authority and the Beaumont Public Library. We use modified managed enrollment, and we enroll new students at least twice a month, usually once a week. That may not work for everyone, but we have found that that's what works best for us and our program, and especially for our students. We want to accept students when they are ready to enter the program. And as I said, the strategy works best for our programs and for our students. We also try to keep students motivated and moving forward to set and achieve new goals, and to understand that achievement of English fluency or achievement of a high school equivalency is one of the many steps toward their employment, training, and self-sufficiency goals. We celebrate student accomplishments: a new job, job promotion, achievement of high school equivalency, citizenship, a family event, holidays, gains on post-test or measurable skills gains, and more. So be sure to include your community partner in the celebration. This could be as much as just a short recognition of a minute or two on up to something that you might have monthly, a monthly celebration of the different accomplishments that have occurred through the month. We try to hire the best people for the job, as you all know, as you all do, and we all know that AEL people are just the best. We also try to hire the best people, including professionals who have excellent credentials and high-level skills, but we also believe that it's important to hire staff who have warm and friendly personalities. Our instructors love helping and working with our students and working with our partners. We hire staff who bring diverse skills and talents to the program. For example, we hired the limited English proficiency coordinator and tech prep instructor from our local college to teach an ESL night class at the library. He works full-time during the day for the college, but he works part-time with us at night. And since he encounters students during the day who need our services, he can refer those students to our classes. Another of our library instructors is a certified teacher who has a master's degree in technology, so she brings additional skills. We've hired certified counselors and bilingual and multilingual professionals to teach our classes, as well as instructors with various specializations in ESL, math, and English, and individuals with a wide range of varied work and life experience. Currently, we have 7 AEL instructors at the library. We utilize our Career Navigator for career aptitude and interest assessment, financial aid counseling, marketing of our classes, researching needs, and setting up new classes, and much more. Our Career Navigator is a very valuable member of our staff and contributes immeasurably to the success of the program. To ensure greater success in partner integration, seek partners from a cross-section of your community and ensure that there is a mutual benefit to the partnering. Don't wait necessarily for all partners to get on board before moving forward with your plans. And most partnerships do expand over time. Move forward with the partnerships that are in place and continue to nurture those that will take a little longer to secure. And just don't grow, as the old say, it says, don't grow weary of pursuing those partnerships. They do take a little time sometimes, and other times you'll find that there's an immediate need, and they are just thrilled to have you, and you can get going so quickly. It's just wonderful. Try to secure commitments from partners to collaborate. Don't leave it to chance. Get an MOU or a non-financial agreement in place. Those do not have to be difficult. It can be something simple, but to get the commitment there. And be flexible. And adjustments are often necessary and are to be expected. And that's just a living, breathing document that is subject to change. Include your partners in decision making as needed. And this builds a feeling of ownership and empowerment among stakeholders. And sharing of resources always helps to address the community needs.
Here is a quote from Barbara Beard, who is the manager of the Maureen Gray Literacy Center, Beaumont Public Library. She states, "The partnership between Beaumont Public Library and Region 5's Adult Education Department has been invaluable to the library in terms of widening its reach to the English as a second language community in the Beaumont and surrounding areas." She also states, "The library provides a warm and inviting place for students to learn English, thus opening the door for library staff to offer additional services to these individuals." This cross-selling of services is a challenge for many libraries. Having the ESL community in our building makes this task abundantly easier and provides huge benefits to what otherwise is a difficult marketing and outreach exercise for us.
This is a quote from Allison Landrum, who's the Executive Director of the Beaumont Housing Authority. And we've enjoyed our collaboration with Allison and the Housing Authority. She says, "Many of our clients identify a lack of education as a barrier to moving out of poverty and into self-sufficiency. Through our partnership with Region 5 Education Service Center, we are able to refer these clients to classes that will increase their knowledge, help them develop new skills, and gain the necessary credentials many employers require of their job applicants. Beaumont Housing Authority's team of social and supportive services caseworkers strive to help clients move in, up, and out of poverty and assisted housing, and our fruitful partnership with Region 5 serves as a great tool to help us achieve that goal." And in closing, remember, stakeholder integration does work. Again, we're really excited about this entire series. Our partnership with the Beaumont Public Library and the Beaumont Housing Authority is successful because we work together for the ultimate goal of educating and helping our mutual customers or students. And we do encourage all AEL programs to partner with your local libraries and housing authorities. The collaboration between the housing authorities, libraries, and adult education is just too great an opportunity to pass up. We wish you much success in your partnerships. This is my contact information if you would like more information, or if we can help in any way at Region 5. We have just a great staff who will be more than happy to answer any questions or help in any way. And we thank you so much. We will go to questions if anyone has a question. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Brenda and Christine, so much. This is great information. It's wonderful to see these collaborations going on throughout the state to benefit our students and to move the adult education program forward. I did have a question in regards to your referral process that you mentioned. Do you have a referral process or a referral form that you use among the different organizations like the library and yourself, or the housing authority and yourself and your program?
We have different forms that we use. Let me turn my audio up. We have different forms that we use. Mainly we are in close contact because we're there during the day, and oftentimes it's just through an email if we're not on site. So in the case of the library, we're there at the same time that they are, and so it's usually, if someone comes in, if there's a phone call, we're usually there to take that call, or they will send that student to us.
Olga, well, this is Deb. Will we be having a resource space where some of our presenters can, upload their documents or forms that they talk about and stuff like that?
We will be placing this in one of the communities of practice.
Perfect.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Are there any other questions? We have great job, thank you. But do we have any other questions? We appreciate you all attending the session. We have another session coming up at 2:15, so it'll be a little bit before the room is available and the session is ready. But we look forward to seeing you at the next session, and thank you so much for attending.